So that's really interesting. You worked with Indian psychologists and Western psychologists. You've also trained abroad with some of the Western psychologists. Would you be able to share with me some of the key differences between the Indian and the Western model?
So the key differences in the Western and Indian model of counseling is the approach to the Indian client. In India, we follow a Western approach of counseling, and therefore there are three key factors which a counselor needs to keep in mind while working with their clients. We are a society which has gone through major social change and economic reforms. However, we are still considered a collectivist society, and the West is an individualistic society. So collectivism means that we are part of a group and follow the principles and influences of that group, and therefore we look at social cohesion, which means that the interests of the group is larger than that of the individual. Whereas in the Western society, the individual is aware of his own needs, and therefore this awareness is applicable to the Western form of counseling. The second key factor is culture. We are a culturally impacted society. It's very much part of our ingrained, and it's very entrenched, ingrained deep within us, that we follow patterns of norms, behaviors, and therefore when a client comes, I normally ask these questions. Is this belief that you are upholding your own, or does it come from your culture, or does it come from your family? And once the client begins to understand that some of their beliefs are inherent, are deeply entrenched, it sets them to do deep reflective thinking work. And therefore then the focus becomes about their struggles to be individualistic versus being part of a collectivist group. And therefore our major empathy is a key issue for us. Being empathetic to culture and being empathetic to collectivism, which could mean that helping the client to unfold some of their deeply entrenched beliefs, perhaps even about feelings. In Indian society, feelings were considered as weakness, rasa, and family patterns were to encourage cognitive thinking or jnana, and therefore helping the client to express themselves in a safe setting can be the focus of our work.